evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, August 4, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Ministerial Advisor OLATO Sam shot dead outside PLAISANCE Line Top Bar. Government continues to make policy-driven investments to boost job creation, disposable income, says President Ali. MAHDIA fire tragedy, COI panel to be sworn in next week, says VP. Guyana set to cultivate millets as India hands over seeds. IDB funds feasibility study for a glass bottle factory in Guyana. And Linden man busted with 11 million in ganja after crashing car. Now for the news in detail. Advisor to the Education Ministry, Dr. OLATO Sam, has been shot and killed by a stray bullet in the wee hours of Friday while liming with friends at PLAISANCE, Linetop, East Coast, Demerara. In this Lawanda McAllister story, you will hear that 2 persons have been arrested, one of whom had a gun in his possession.
Police have confirmed that the incident occurred just after midnight in close proximity of the Gold Rush bar at a PLAISANCE railway embankment, East Coast, Demerara. 53-year-old Sam of West Randveld, Georgetown, reportedly was liming outside the bar with 3 friends. However, at around 12 hours 10, a confrontation erupted between 2 men on opposite sides of the road. The altercation quickly escalated, and witnesses reported hearing 2 loud gunshots from the direction of the quarreling men. Moments later, Sam collapsed while holding his bleeding chest. Upon realizing that he was shot, the former chief education officer was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police have since confirmed that a gunshot wound was seen on the upper left side of his chest. His body was taken to the hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. However, as police intensified their investigations, the 2 men who were involved in the fight were taken into custody. At the time of the arrest, one of the men was found to be in possession of a firearm. The Evening News understands that as investigations continue, police have since dusted the suspect's hands for possible gunpowder residue. In addition, the weapon was sent for ballistic tests to be conducted. Following Dr. Sam's death, the Ministry of Education has expressed its sadness at his passing, who up to this time of his demise served as an education specialist within the ministry. He also served as Chief Education Officer from 2011 to 2016. Dr. Sam also lectured at the University of Guyana in the Masters in Education and Bachelors in Education programs. He has served as Chairman of the Guyana School of Agriculture, Commissioner of the Teaching Service Commission, a member of the Caribbean Examinations Council's Final Awards Committee, Chairman of the Board of Governors of the Serapoto College of Education, members of the CARICOM Task Force on Teacher Education and Training, and as a member of the CARICOM Task Force on the establishment of teaching councils. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
We are now joined by Vanu Manikchand, who reports that the much-anticipated Commission of Inquiry into the deadly MAHDIA fire is set to commence soon, with the investigating panel expected to be sworn in next week.
Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo made this disclosure during a press conference on Thursday.
On Wednesday, the COI for MAHDIA. Next Wednesday. Monday, the mayors would be sworn in, and Wednesday.
It was previously announced that Major General retired Joseph Singh would be leading the COI, for which the government had been working on finalizing the terms of reference. The May 21, 2023 inferno at the MAHDIA Secondary School dormitory in Region 8 killed 19 female students between the ages of 12 and 17 and a 5-year-old boy who was the son of the dorm parents. The fire was reportedly set by a 15-year-old student who also lived at the dorm after her cell phone was taken away. She has since been slapped with murder charges and is being held at a juvenile holding center pending the trial. The government announced last month that in addition to medical and mental health support, $5 million would be provided to the families of each of the 20 children who died in the fire. However, the government has faced some criticism for the approach adopted in aiding the affected families. The Amerindian People's Association recently issued a statement regarding what they called a rush to settle all possible claims as disrespectful. The APA also claimed that families were coerced into signing settlement agreements, absolving the state of all liabilities, and that the monetary assistance can influence the impending COI. But these claims were rubbished by Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandal, who traveled to MAHDIA earlier this week to meet with families and community members affected by the deadly fire. He reassured that the COI would work independently to investigate the dormitory fire.
The COI has an amplitude of power based upon their terms of reference to make findings based upon the evidence that will be presented to it. It's totally unrelated and will be totally unaffected by what the government is offering as a form of financial assistance. The COI, if they wish, may take that into account, but as a matter completely within the remit and jurisdiction of the COI members. As I said, there is no compensation being paid or offered. Compensation is a legal terminology which connotes that there is an acceptance of blame or culpability, or there is a finding of blame or culpability by a tribunal of competent jurisdiction. None of those things have happened. I have not one moment, in fact, I made that very, very clear, that if the government is to offer hundreds of millions of dollars, it will not be appropriate compensation for the loss of any child.
The Attorney General has also called on persons to stop politicizing the MAHDIA fire tragedy. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Celebrating 3 years since he was sworn in as president, Dr. Irfan Ali on Thursday reflected on the numerous initiatives the government has undertaken in the form of policy-driven investments that aim to increase wealth and value opportunities for Guyanese. Pooja Rambaran has the details.
From tax reductions on vehicles and cell phone data to house lot distributions, from scholarships and training opportunities to advances in infrastructure and agriculture leading to job creation and increased disposable income, the president expressed that the government has been actively working to better the lives of all Guyanese. In doing so, he noted that the policy-driven investment approach has been used.
The government pursues policies that are aimed at driving up investment. So you'll recall when we came into government, we advanced a policy to support investment in new hotels. Today we have some more than 7 new hotels already under construction. So this is where policies drive investment. And that is what you see the government has been doing. Creating policies to drive private capital, drive private investment. These new hotels, what will they do? They will create thousands of new jobs. For who? The ordinary people, the Guyanese. It will create downstream benefit for the supermarkets, the butchers, the poultry industry, eggs, cleaning service.
Ali noted that as the government continues these investments, particularly in infrastructure, the value of the community goes up. This value, he says, is transferable to the community members. These policies and investments further open up opportunities for wealth and value creation among Guyanese.
Wealth creation is when the government develops policies and programs that helps community, that opens up opportunity in communities for the advancement of wealth, the creation of wealth. Whether it's a small business grant, the support to farmers through fertilizer, the swamp shrimp farmers in Berbice, the farmers in Baracara, that we have opened up new lands for, the drainage work that we are doing to improve new land and increase new land, so that people will have access to new land to do productive work. That is investment to create wealth.
Meanwhile, through the provision of grants, subsidies, and scholarships, Ali noted that the government is working to increase the disposable income of Guyanese to better aid their development.
If you want families to be uplifted out of poverty, if you want families to move up the strata of society, then you have to find ways in which you can improve their disposable income. So, when you remove the burden of the family to support health care, to support education, when you can get a free education through a gold scholarship, free degree through a gold scholarship, when you have increase for the pensioners, when you have the Because We Care grant, when you have the subsidy on sand and cement, when you have lower interest rate by 3%, what you're doing? You're reducing the cost of the existing budget of that family. You will free up income so that they can now save. It increases their propensity to save. So all these policies and programs to support the families enhance the disposable income.
Pooja Brand for the Evening News.
The Agriculture Ministry is soon to embark on trials for millet production after a quantity of seeds was donated by the Indian government on Friday. Here are the details from Rupa Sinarain.
In March, the Agriculture Ministry had signed a Memorandum of Understanding with India-based UPL Limited, paving the way for trials to commence for the cultivation of millets. Indian High Commissioner Dr. K.J. Srinivasa handed over the finger and barnyard millets to Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa.
We are working very assiduously to spread the cultivation of millets because this is a very low cost crop that we grow in India, especially in South India and in the dry areas. Highly nutritious, it's good for diabetics, good for people with illnesses, and a lot of protein in them.
Some 200 acres of land were to be set aside for the cultivation and production of millets, with assistance of experts from India. The Agriculture Minister shared that this development augurs well for Guyana as it seeks to reduce the food import bill and enhance food security.
Millet is a crop that is an indigenous crop which was neglected over the years, and I think that Guyana is leading the charge in food security. We want to reduce the food import bill of CARICOM by 25%, and you know our president, His Excellency President Irfan Ali, he is the lead in agriculture, and I think this is an appropriate time that we start the crop in the Caribbean right here in Guyana. The climate is good, the land is, I think we have good land, fertile land, and millet is a hard crop that can withstand the weather condition and the tropical climate that we have here.
This is not the only area in agriculture, however, where India has offered assistance. In fact, it was previously announced that specialists would arrive to assist in developing a tissue culture laboratory, produce planting material, examine the rice sector, and commence production of hemp. According to the minister, this will soon become a reality.
Also, we are looking at agro-processing. Recently, we applied for a grant that the Indian government will assist Guyana with, and I have written to the High Commission, and all those plans are now we are moving it forward, and it will become reality shortly.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
The Inter-American Development Bank, in a bold step to contribute to development in Guyana, has funded the feasibility study for the construction of a glass bottle manufacturing plant. More in this Tasia Dickinson report.
During the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association's mid-year dinner on Thursday, President of the GMSA, Ramazeh Ali, revealed that the study has already begun to determine the viability of the project.
We approached the IDB, and the IDB said, yes, we are going to fund a study for a feasibility study here in Guyana for glass manufacturing. I am pleased to say that that study has started, and we have a timeline for about 2 months before we can get the results of that study.
According to Ali, the establishment of such a factory will greatly benefit local businesses and reduce the costs spent to import glass from Trinidad.
Some of us are old enough to know there used to be a glass bottle factory here, years ago. So what happened was, there's such a facility in Trinidad, one facility. And what happened is that they they approached CARICOM through the quoted mechanism and said they can produce all the glass in the Caribbean for everybody. And if you were to import glass from anywhere else, you will have to pay the CT. You know what it means? So the companies under our membership, we have the two largest beverage companies in the GMSA. Galaxy them are Distillers Limited, plus we have some others, mid-sized companies like Bricks and Sari, Tandies, and of course all of our small agro processors. We use a lot of glass.
Ali added that it is more logical to implement this project now rather than 10 years ago, given the consumption of energy required for such a facility. According to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade, Guyana's imports from Trinidad and Tobago of glass and glassware were valued at US $2.67 million in 2022. Tassia Dickinson, The Evening News.
Coming up, digital ID card to shield against fraud with high security features, and the Linden man busted with 11 million in ganja after crashing car. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
We will always rally round our friends.
We home. The men in maroon are back in Guyana to battle India in 2 T20 international matches at the Guyana National Stadium. Catch the action in the cool, stylish fans T20 series, powered by Black and White, on August 6th and August 8th, bowling off at 10:30 a.m. Purchase tickets at windiescricket.com and receive 20% off box office prices. Tickets already discounted. Other conditions apply. West Indies versus India. Let's rally around our team. We home.
Rally, 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 rally around the West Indies.
Your health, safety, and security are paramount. In 2023, $2 billion is being invested to expand the Safe Country initiative to regions 3 and 6 and is geared towards improving the detection of criminal activities with the use of ICT solutions. Funds earned from oil production are supporting initiatives such as these to bolster the crime-fighting efforts of the Guyana Police Force through the provision and installation of intelligent video surveillance.
Poultry farmers, save money and increase your production rate by cutting the time it takes to pluck your chickens with a plucking machine from Sylvies. We have them available in small, medium and large sizes. Replacement motors and plucking fingers are also readily available. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our locations at 31 High in Hatfield Street, Georgetown, or Lot 90 East Henrietta, Essequibo.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Rubicina Ryan reports that 3 years of governance under the Irfan Ali-led administration has seen the delivery of over 24,000 house lots to Guyanese Housing Minister Colin Crowell disclosed on Thursday.
Moving closer towards fulfilling its manifesto promise of 50,000 house lots in 5 years, the housing minister told the National Assembly that almost 50% of this target has been met through robust interventions to deliver to the Guyanese population. When his administration entered office, there was a backlog of over 70,000 applications.
Let's look comparably of what has been done. For 5 years, 5 full-fledging years, of course some stolen time, 7,534 house lots distributed in 5 years. In 3 years, this on the eve of our 3rd anniversary in government, 24,116 house lots delivered to date.
Additionally, he pointed out that only 3 housing areas were developed under the former administration, sections of Peters Hall, Prospect, and Providence. There has been a turnaround where over 40 new areas are being developed.
2020, when we got into government, Anna Katrina, Plantation Cornelia Ida, Plantation Stewardville Phase 1, Block X1, Block X2, and 41 Plantation Metamerzor. Region 4, same 2020, Plantation Great Diamond, Plantation Little Diamond, Cummings Lodge 1767 and 1768, and now renamed Cummings Lodge Track A and B. Year 2021, Region 2, on the Naming Phase 4, St. Joseph Track B and St. Joseph Track A, Charity. Region 4, under construction, Block 18, Golden Grove, Plantation, La Reconnaissance. Region 5, Block A, Baltioch. Region 6, Fort Lands Ordnance Phase 3.
During its term thus far, construction commenced on 2,154 houses and over 1,000 have been handed over to beneficiaries. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Once again, here is Rubicina Ryan, this time to report that Prime Minister Mark Phillips on Thursday presented the Digital Identity Card Bill to the National Assembly in a major endeavor by the government to consolidate the biometric data of each citizen into one card.
The new legislation will provide for the establishment of a digital identity card registry for the collection of identity data for citizens 14 years and over and non-citizens including skilled nationals of a CARICOM state. Data will be collected to facilitate electronic governance and to enhance government and other service-related matters. It will allow for the issuance of a digital citizen and non-citizen identity card.
The government aims to create a robust ecosystem of trusted entities responsible for ensuring the security and reliability of electronic communications and transactions. Mr. Speaker, the bill also provides a clear framework for the functions and responsibilities of the certifying authority and outlines the procedures for registering electronic security procedures providers. Mr. Speaker, in recognition of the importance of auditing and confidentiality in this context, the bill ensures that the entire process adheres to strict data protection and security features. Mr. Speaker, this bill paves the way for public authorities to leverage the potential of electronic records, information, signatures, and systems.
The digital identity cards are to be made with high security materials and elements that offer durability and reliability and exclude any possible altercation so that they cannot be the object of any fraud and consequently guarantee the identity of the holders of the cards. Meanwhile, the bill speaks to offenses if a person knowingly submits data at more than one registry for more than one card, uses a falsified or altered card, or has in his or her possession a digital identity card which is known to be falsified or altered. They are also committing an offense if false data is provided for obtaining, renewing, or replacing a digital identity card. Fraudulently obtaining or using an identity card is also an offense. Any person found culpable is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $5 million and imprisonment for 5 years. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Let's now tell you that a Linden resident was on Thursday arrested with 27 pounds of ganja during a roadblock exercise at the Kumaka Mines Junction, Region 10. Police stated that the ranks observed a black note motor car bearing registration number PZZ8168 driving towards the roadblock at a fast rate. The ranks reportedly attempted to stop the car, but the driver continued to drive at a fast pace. As such, the police gave chase and the vehicle careened off the trail, ended up on the parapet, and came to a halt on its side. As the ranks approached the car, they observed a bulky black garbage bag on the front passenger seat, and upon inspection, the cannabis was found therein. The narcotic was weighed and amounted to 27 pounds, which has a street value of about 11 million. Investigations are continuing. With labor demand continuing to grow, the Guyana government is looking to include more women in the workforce, and according to Vice President Dr. Barry Jagdeo, the PartTime Jobs initiative is a good platform to do this. More in this report.
During a press conference on Friday, Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo pointed out that government is trying to expand the local supply of labor through aggressive training programs, including BIT training and the Gold scholarships, as well as with the massive training school that is being established at Port Morant in Region 6. These efforts, he added, are further bolstered by the PartTime Jobs initiative, which is not only a means for persons to earn an income, but also an opportunity for them to get job training.
We're trying also to bring women into the workforce, and that's why we think the part-time job is a stepping stone for many women. Urban women tend to be working more, but rural women, a lot of rural women have not been working. Many of them were homemakers or just simply at home. And therefore, the part-time job is a good stepping stone for them to have an income, start coming out to work, even for a few days, and then, of course, to study. It gives them like an income to do more studies. So we're trying to expand the supply of labor through training, aggressive training program.
The demand for labor locally has been growing exponentially as Guyana continues to undergo unprecedented transformation. Jagdeo disclosed that one way the government is looking to address this is by encouraging labor mobility within the country, since there is skilled labor available in other regions where not much economic activities are taking place.
We're urging labor mobility. We have spoken to a lot of the contractors here. We're saying, can't you build facilities to keep them, like if someone comes from Berbice or Linden or Essequibo or Region 1, so that they have accommodation here, decent accommodation, and then maybe on the weekend they go back to work. So we are trying to work through that problem to try to see if we can promote greater labor mobility.
According to the Vice President, job mobility is now a growing concern as persons are no longer stuck in the same place or in the same field, but move on to better opportunities. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Here now is Pooja Rambaran to tell us that with his 4-year tenure having come to an end, outgoing Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, Dr. KJ Srinivasa, has reiterated key areas of focus between India and Guyana in the future.
Dr. Srinivasa on Thursday reflected on his experience in Guyana and the multiple joint ventures the two countries have embarked on and will continue to maintain. He noted that following President Dr. Irfan Ali's visit to India in January, several focus areas were decided upon for partnership.
The focus areas, especially between India and Guyana, which have been identified, obviously include energy, healthcare and pharma, developmental partnership and capacity building that we do, agriculture, technology and innovation, defense and infrastructure. What we see from the Indian point of view is that India's confidence in its own capabilities, the production capacities, the manufacturing abilities, and the IT services that India generates, we believe that can be contributed in a very positive way to Guyana.
Notably, efforts are also being made in upskilling defense officers.
Government of India approved our proposal to train GDF officers in India in various training courses, including for the Land Army, the Coast Guard, and the nascent Air Force of Guyana. So today, dozens of GDF officers are traveling to India for their training.
This is one of several training and scholarship opportunities made available to Guyanese through the India-Guyana partnership, with several also benefiting from the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation ITEC program and the No India program.
What I wish to say here is that education, capacity building, and technical assistance is what India prizes itself. And in the GOLD program especially, over 6,000 scholarships, at least 3,000 to 3,500 students study in India-based universities. That is something which I believe has more potential to grow. Recently, the government of Guyana has also included the Institute of Petroleum Studies in India, which will train Guyanese people in the petroleum sector.
Srinivasa added that work is continuing to advance the agriculture and energy sectors, particularly in regards to renewable energy, with India providing experts to support those key areas. He added that many India-based businesses have also been encouraged to join Guyana's growing economy as the country is undertaking a massive transformation agenda.
Ashoka Buildcon is building the Ogal Road. Kalpataru Projects has just bagged the transmission line project for the gas to energy. Engineers India Limited, RITES, Shapurji Palanji, they are already here. It is an endless list. But one thing stands out here, that India's partnership with Guyana shows that India doesn't do things for something in return. We are not here for any quid pro quo.
With Dr. Srinivasa's departure on Saturday, the High Commission is yet to announce his replacement. Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Damarara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Saturday, August 5th, 2023 at 5 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 6 hours 50 on Saturday, August 5th, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Carmel, Dolphin, Warramadong, Charleston complete Digicel Final 8 and 2 Guyanese basketball players attend Phenom Camp. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
American-made Generac pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store gives you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime. Providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business. From 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the Generac pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
Superbet, your best bet. With many agents countrywide, our products are easily accessible. Visit an agent nearest to you to play your favorite games. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.